Hello. Let's give people a few minutes to get in here. Oh, everybody's fine and ready for the weekend. It's kind of uphill here with the game, but I'll show you in a moment. Not uphill, but just a lot of things not going as I wanted to. Hi, Super Pyro. So I'm actually Super Pyro. I'm gonna look at this particle effect differences you found, and Amnesty made a comparison video of. Let's see. So before I show you that, let me show you something else, because I was actually supposed to work on that issue. It was you, Super Pyro, that found it, right? And shared it in the experimental branch that you thought the effects looked different. I didn't see it, but I didn't notice it at least. But you did, and Amnesty could see it right away too. So I've looked a little into it, but haven't actually figured out because I had a hard time seeing the problem, to be honest. But then Amnesty made this video here, which I will show you in a moment. But that's what I was supposed to work on now. But now when I'm starting up, and I also got a mail about it this morning, apparently there is some security issue. Is it now? Oh, damn it. My Zoom is not working again. It zooms on this screen, but it moves the mouse on the other screen. Very annoying. Anyway, so I opened up Unity Hub to this one now with some security alert thingy. So I have to install a new version of the editor. So let's do that. And while we wait on that, I will show you this comparison video that Amnesty made that shows the problem. And it must be something. I have changed a few things. Not in relation to the post-processing effect, but in relation to the textures. Yeah, actually only the textures, not even the materials. But I also made some other changes in how these particles. Yeah. Anyway, you will see here. So the one to the left, that's the experimental, that's the latest version, and the one to the right is the version from summer. And this is without better graphics mod. I would think that Amnesty and others would like the left one. Not that I did anything to make it look like that, but apparently not. It needs to look like the one to the right. Oh, wait a second. So let's see if we can recreate it. It seems to be more apparent when we have the better graphics mod installed and enabled. So let's see what we can do. I can try and undo some of the texture things and then see if we can spot the difference. And then I will push it at version. When I think it's fixed, I can push a quick version to you guys on a special beta branch so you can test it. Super Pyro and Amnesty. It was you, right, Pyro? Let me see. That reported this yesterday. Yes, at least somebody called Super Pyro 19 on Discord, so pretty sure it's you. Yeah. So anyway. And there's also something with the smoke, yeah. So it's more blooming. There's something with the smoke here. You can easier see the smoke here, but not so much here. So it's more affected by lights, but let's see if it has something to do with that. It's still installing, so we still wait. we still wait. So I was supposed to work on the firing system. Thought I was supposed to, or I should work on it, but then we had this other issue, and now I have the security issue in Unity. So it's like it's 3 steps forward, 2 backwards. It's freaking annoying. It's really annoying. Hello, Keltasar. See you here now. You can see the video here too. It's the one, I don't know if you have seen it. You have seen it, but this is the one Amnesty made. So apparently there's difference, but I think I know what it is. But so far I just haven't been able to spot the difference. So, but let's try. What I have prepared is I have, well, you have 1 step forward. Hopefully you guys should feel that the game loads a little faster with a lot of mods. So that's 1 step forward. But now I have to do a few steps back and figure out why this is happening. And I think it's the mip-map things, but let's see. But right now, I'm waiting on a new version of Unity to be installed because I opened up Unity Hub to this with just a lot of issues over here. Not issues, but security alerts. So yeah, apparently you have to, and you can see it's a lot of the old versions. So they apparently found some security issue in Unity, and there was sent out an email this morning, and now all versions have a quick fix update, which should remove that security thing. So yeah, so before I even start on anything, let's upgrade Unity first. And right now we're waiting. Okay, it's okay. So now it's so let's upgrade here. So let's first start up by upgrading, and then I have another. I have the version from this summer, the 7.3 version, and then I can run that next to each other. But I don't know if I can open. Okay, I can still open it in the old version, so that's good. Okay. What I noticed, the best fix to too long mod loading is just not use that many. Yeah, that's right. I could also do something else, because people can't seem to limit themselves. So another way of solving that problem was really to limit people. So let's say you can only select 100 mods instead of 200. Then people have to be, oh, hello, Amnesty. Then people have to be more careful with what mods they enabled. So if people can handle it, maybe that's the solution. So yeah, so right now we start out by by installing Unity, or upgrading Unity, because we have to. So I should work on firing system, but then we have the issue with the particles not showing up right, because I changed some stuff that I hopefully can find now and redo or undo. But before I can start on that, which I thought I should now, I had to upgrade Unity, because apparently there is some big security alert issue thingy on Unity right now, on all old versions. So almost all the versions. So anyway, let's see. So we upgraded to okay, so in the main, we upgrade to that, and that's fine. Okay, So the left one, that's the experimental version. The right one is the, and you can see it up here on the, I wish I could zoom in, but I can't because the zooming thing reacts to the other screen. So that's not working either. But anyway, so the version to the right is the old version from this summer 7.3. So let's see. So we can see it side by side here. And because the game is made as it is, and I haven't fixed that, we cannot start two single player games. So I have to create a private a private multiplayer game. Okay. So it was in the let me see, it was the shell something. Let's see what he said. It was Super Pyro, which are in here too. Let's see. What was it? Okay, Shell Collection 4. Okay, so Shell Collection 4 and the mortars. We want to have as little as possible. Let's go over here and then let's hope we can start two multiplayer games. Let's see. So is that the same? We have the mortar, yes, and we have the collection 4. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Ron. Well, I'm doing fine. I'm a little challenged. Let me remove that so we can see what we're doing here. Yeah, I just needed to fix firing system, but then I need to fix some particle issues because that was found on the experimental branch. And first I had to upgrade Unity because there is a security issue today apparently that they're asking everybody to, they force people to update us, not force, but they very much encourage people to upgrade their Unity version. So anyway, the upgrade has done with the Unity version, so that's good. Now let me set up some quick stuff here because we need to test. So let's do like this, and then let's take these brocade. So it was Super Pyro 19 that found this I wouldn't say bug, but difference at least between the old version, the one that was released this summer, and the version that is currently on the experimental branch. And let me save this. So now we have it here, and let me go over here and let's see if I can open it. Perfect. So to the right, we have the main version, or the old version, and to the left we have the experimental version. And apparently there should be a difference between the two. Oh, damn it, I forgot to. Okay, I actually see the difference. Okay, maybe I should time it a little better. Jesus. Okay, it is. Okay, I can actually see a difference. Let's quickly try with better graphics mod on because it looked like it was more visible with that. So let's just take that in also too here. So let's see. Is that called better graphics mod? Boom. Oh, I was enabled because I enabled on the other one. Yeah, okay, great. So let's go in here and let's do this and presets, and let's this one save. Whoa. Let's use this setting here. Boom. Okay, apparently it's a lot more clean. or not clean, but bright. Which is funny because Amnesty wanted to be dark all the time. Hello, Mr. J. You will miss the most important part, Keltuzar, that's for sure. Okay, how can I... Okay, so there's a big difference here. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look at what I think is the problem. So one thing that I've changed is that I put the particles into a sprite sheet, and already something I shouldn't have done it this way because it includes too many, so I need to change that anyway. But let's first try and remove these from this sprite atlas here. So let's see here. So now there should be nothing in this one. We could actually... No, that's fine. So just with this change, let's see if that makes a change. And I will only start this one to the left now because I can kind of spot it now. I can see it's a lot more bloomy or glowy or whatever. Hello, Artemis. Yeah, the smoke is different too. Every time I freaking change something, it's it looks weird to people. But it's okay. Let's try this first. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this up again. This is a freaking bug here. Still very bloomy, right? I don't know if I can do this while I'm in here, but because I have changed. The only other thing I changed is this. I'm not sure. And this is the mid-map thingy. We have to restart just to make sure. Oh, that's damn it! Wait! It's not just the smoke; it's also all the other ones. But I cannot remember. Let's see. Let's take a look at the old version, and then we can compare. Art, textures, particles. Boom. So let's see. So this one has mid-map. They all have. Okay. So it's just a matter of doing like this. And then we check again. Do you have any idea how you would like to incorporate time delay into the firing system? Yes. The simplest version will be to have some kind of let me start here. So the way you fire with the firing system is that you have these different queues, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Maybe some channels to diverse it, whatever. But anyway, you have this queue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up. So basically what I could do is I could have a controller where you can, and if it's a physical in the game or it's UI, I'm starting to lean toward the UI because I have so much issue with figuring out how to hold that controller and use it while still seeing the show. But anyway, that's another thing. So the simplest idea is basically that you put in kind of a I don't know what to call it, I don't know what name we should put, but imagine you have kind of a, so like this. So imagine you have, or we could maybe I could draw it here. Maybe, wait a second. Let me see, do I have, where is my drawing thing? Here it is. So, I don't know if I can draw on this actually, but let's try. So, okay. So, imagine you have kind of a controller, some UI, whatever, and that controller somehow have some kind of, I don't know, a thing, a place where you can put in stuff. So then you kind of, with a little plus or something, you add kind of a bar, and then you can choose what that bar should be. So let's say that should be Q, or Q, that's a C, 1. So that Q thing, that's the first thing that starts. So that happens. Then you push the plus button, and then you put in a pause or delay, or let's call it delay for 0.7 not milliseconds, seconds. Then you put in a new one, that's Q2, and then right after Q3, which they will happen right after each other, and then you have a delay again for 1.8 seconds, milliseconds or whatever, and then you go, and then you can have some kind of scroll thing, so you can go back and forth. So that's the simplest version I can imagine. Some way, I don't know exactly will look like this, but that's the general idea. So you put in these bars, or I don't know what, I need to figure out a word for it, but you put in these bars here, and then you say they need to be whatever, and then maybe you can also move them back and forth or whatever. So this way you can kind of do your timeline, and then in the future maybe you could, if you imagine you had a little more room, then you could maybe load in a song somehow, so you have kind of, the waveform. This is me doing a waveform of a song, blah, blah, blah. So you could specifically say, okay, marker here, that's this one is this one, this one is this one that is not here, or something like that. Q3. Does that make any sense? It looks pretty complicated when I look at it like this, but that's the most basic idea, basically. And I really have everything I need to do it with UI by typing in your delay with the keyboard. Yeah, but imagine it needs to work also if you don't have a keyboard, if you're playing on a controller, for instance. But that shouldn't be the problem, and that's why I'm actually starting to lean more and more, simply because I cannot make the UX work in the other way. So I'm starting to lean towards having the controller part be a part of the UI. So in your inventory there is a new tab maybe called controller or something like that, a firing system controller, whatever, something like that, firing system or something. And so the receivers are the things you place in the world with the different fuses connected, and then in the UI you set up whatever you need to set up, delays, whatever. Yeah, exactly. So that's also why I'm actually leaning towards the UI, and And with that also, it also makes it easier for me UX-wise to do this kind of firing mode state where let's either do it in the inventory and you click into a firing mode or whatever. Somehow you at least need to be able to get into a state where you are controlling the firing system with the buttons. So like you can do this next fire, next fire, next fire, so you manually can trigger it. So if you imagine this one we have here, I don't know, yeah, you could basically have a minus, a fire, and a plus, and then a reset maybe. So first this one is active, and then you press fire, then this one fires, then you press plus, and then I can also maybe automatically go to the next queue, and then you go to the next one, then it's the Q2 fire, Q3 fire, Q4 fire. So if you don't want to do it timed with these blocks here, you can manually switch to the next queue, next queue, next queue, and next queue. I'll say press E to open a UI for the firing system, and you can click on each channel to set the delay. But I just think you're referring to the way that Panini did it, and I think the way Panini did it quickly will become very hard to get an overview. That makes sense. But we could also end up just having everything in UI. But yeah. 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 Anyway, let's get back to this. But yeah, something like that at least. And the thing is, I actually have, you know, the electric fuse and I basically have everything to be able to do this, because I have the electrical fuse, I have the queue system. It's very easy to extend to also have a channel included if I wanted to. I can do a lot of stuff, and I basically have everything. It's the challenge is making it easy to use, basically. And then of course either create the UI or the controller, physical controller, whatever, to be able to set up the show. The receiver part is actually there. Last time I made this 12Q receiver, and I could add a channel to that, and then we could have, you know, or we could have, yeah, it basic logic is there, and it's also saved in Blueprint now, and so that's also fine. Maybe just make two of the session. One is mainly UI based, and the other one in-game stuff. We could get on a course, and I can draw up example of what I mean. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. But I think, it sounds like you're referring to the way Panini's work or Pyroworks work. And maybe that's good enough. I have a feeling we can do it better somehow. Anyway, let's get back to test this we were actually doing. So we can get back to the firing system. So let's see here. And if we think, let's pay attention. It's different now. Don't you agree? Let's compare. It's different now. So it is the, okay, that's good. Okay, that's fine. Because then it is the MIP map that's the problem. Or it was, by not having the MIP map, it was causing that thing. Maybe it's because it, maybe it's because the MIP maps, because when I disabled the MIP maps. Come on. Oh. That meant that the texture always had the same size. And the good thing about that is that it actually on disk and in memory takes up less memory. But when rendering it, I guess it always had the same size, meaning it was bigger than it used to be. Because it used to have these MIP maps which are scaled down the further away they are for performance reasons. So maybe that's what's happening. But anyway, we can do that, and I can still, so the next step is to try if they are now the same. What I need to do is I need to go back and actually remove the MIP maps again. No, leave them on maybe. And then include them in the sprite sheet or the sprite atlas to gain performance from that. And then have MIP maps on that one. And then hopefully it should end up being the same. Anyway, so let's take a look here. We will see. Now we just need to confirm that this was actually the difference. So let's see. Now they should be more the same. Yes. Yes. We agreed they are pretty much the same now, right? Also, oftentimes show a completely planned on a PC. Yeah. We agree they are the same now. You want to see it again? Let's take a look one more time. So, that moon is kind of annoying. So now they are much better. Perfect. I can see it now. Good. Superpower approves. So that's good. Okay. So let's undo everything, because now I know what the problem was. So let's try something here. So now we undo everything and we go back to textures, and then we go to particle. Yes, and we don't have MIP maps on that one. Okay. So I also need to fix something else, because we don't want the entire particles folder in here. We just need particles here, these ones, and then we drag them in here. Boom. And then we generate MIP maps on that one. Yes, let's see. And now it does this again. I don't know what's wrong with this one. Why is this? Okay. No, that's not it. You can see the other ones. I can see this preview. It's all fine. If I reverse this, again, pack review, all good again. The particle ones, nope, I'm not allowed to see it. It's not good enough. Why? What the fuck? Anyway, let's undo that one. Let's undo the inventory one. Blah 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 blah. Generate MIP maps. Boom boom boom. Yes. Blah blah. Not that. Okay. So we don't have MIP maps on that one. On the particle ones, we actually wanted inventory. Blah 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 blah. Character blah 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 blah. Yes. Okay. So it's so freaking annoying. Anyway, let's try again. So let's hope now that it's the same as before, because then we're all good and it's fixed. So now instead of having these individual particle textures, they are now in a sprite atlas, meaning they are combined into one sprite or in one texture that is then loaded in, and then it can use, it doesn't have to render each of them, it can render more of them in the same go, if that makes sense. So so there should be, in some cases, some performance benefits of that. This. So let's hope it still looks the same now. It's so nice to do something, and if it works, nothing has changed. Boom. There should be some performance improvement. So let's see here. Please come on so we can move on. That's nuts. Seriously? Yeah, that's not correct, right? It's too bloomy. I don't even need to compare, do I? It's still a problem. Okay. I have one more. Yeah, it's too bloomy. Don't we agree? It's too much. Okay, so maybe, but I don't see why. Why should I enable mipmaps on the source sprite texture thingy? I've also thought about more and more about making a tutorial of making realistic mods, but I feel like it would need to have structure, not just random recorded. Yeah, I agree, Amnesty. Maybe, and also some short form, like maybe max 10 minutes, and then show how to do one thing. New video, another thing. I think that would be the best. This is so annoying. Okay, I have one more shot back left. Yeah, it's the same shit. You can also see it on the smoke. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so let's go back in here and then add the mipmaps to these ones. I don't see why that should matter, but and I still don't know why I cannot see this one. I need to restart. I want to restart. It have to work. What happened another time? So you ask what's the problem now? It's these mipmaps again. I know I can fix it, but I really want these things to be in a... Okay, there's something wrong. Why? You see the problem here? I can see this one. I cannot see this one. Why? Okay, there's something wrong with this one. Let me again, I know how I can get it. I can get it back so it actually works. But so they are folders. That shouldn't really. These are also right. See? All good here. What? Okay. Let's try. Freaking. Okay, so particle sprite atlas 2 because it's the best. So let's try and take particle and we take it like this. Preview. Why? Hello, Kushiv Pyro. Really bad at names. This one is working. This one is working. This one is working. This one is not working. Yeah, okay, fair enough, but that's not the problem. It's the freaking same. What? Okay. Problem. Yes. 32 and then we take program. What's the difference? What? Okay, there's something wrong with this sprite sheet. I think that's actually the problem. Maybe. Okay. I'm not sure, but let's try. Maybe that's the problem. And that's maybe, okay. But so like this. Wait a second. Well, this one is very big. Why are these texture 2? Is that because they have to be Okay. Okay, let me try and do a quick version just to test it out. Single scratch. No. Yes. Maybe even smaller, but yeah. Nope. Okay. Wait. Let me undo everything again. Okay, I have another problem. Oh, another idea here. So maybe the reason they cannot generate it is because they are not Sprite 2D UI things, which the other sprite maps that are working here, all the items in here are 2D stuff. But you see, here they actually work, and I can see them. So it is working. What? It's still working. But I just can't add them individually, or what? So if I remove this one, Jesus. So that was me 46 minutes spent on a freaking Sprite Atlas. And it's not working yet. Okay. So, what if we undo this? And then, so we have one here, but the problem is I have too much in it. I have this particles folder in it, and the particles folder also have some other particles in here that I don't need right now. But anyway, so the Sprite Atlas is working here. Looks like it's working at least. So what if I generate, but then it freaks out again. Okay, so let's quickly just see if this one works. So now the Sprite Atlas looks like it's working because I can see the preview, because before I was kind of in doubt if it actually worked. So now I enabled mid-maps on the Sprite Atlas texture. So now maybe it works in the game. Then I have to, if that works, I have to figure out how to make the Atlas work afterwards. It's so confusing. But my main problem right now is not my main problem, but the problem is that this Sprite Atlas is not working. It seems like it's not generated correctly, which is really annoying, and I think that's why what I thought was the fix before wasn't a fix. Because before I enabled the mid-map generation on the Sprite Atlas, but at the same time I also took out some sprites and added the particle ones, which made the preview generation not work, indicating something might be wrong with the Atlas. And then maybe it falls back on just the regular images, which I undid the mid-map generation. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, still a problem. Still a problem. Oh my freaking god. Just a second. Annoying. Okay, I have to Google this because I think some of it is due to this not working. Pack preview. Yes, exactly. Fuck. Yeah, there. Exactly. I have done that. That is done. Let's see. Project. Where is it? I just set that up. Is it in sprites? Atlas. Is it me? Here it is. Sprite Atlas. Mode Sprite Atlas enabled. Sprite Atlas v2 enabled. And it's not just enabled for builds, so it should work all the time. And as I said, you can also see it's working fine. It's working fine. And here, nope. Let's drag in this one. Working now? Nope. And it worked before with that one. So something is freaking broken with this one. See, then it works again. This one, that's all good. Okay, so what if we do 2D, bitmaps, yada yada yada, everything. Am I fighting a Unity bug now, or is it me being an idiot? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, MSC, if it is a big deal. So the idea is that because we are using this square mesh as the effect thing, you know, from the effects, right? We are using a mesh, which is basically just a box or a square. So because that's a 3D object, if the same mesh, which we use a lot, the same mesh, if the same mesh with the same texture and the same material, that share, all that is shared, then the graphics card can render that in one go. And so for instance, let's say you have to render each of them, these here, assuming they were using the same material, just to make it simple. Then that would require one, as I understand it at least, one draw call for each of these types. So maybe there is 100 of these, 200 of these, 500 of these, but that's still only one draw call for that. That would drive these 600. One draw call here would drive these 600, blah, 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 blah. But it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 calls. But if these are all in the same texture, then as I understand it, it's one call, one draw call. So adding that up 60, 90, 120 times per second for this one thing, it actually adds up. So that's why and I thought this was working, but something seems like it's not working. I don't know how I can check it in the debugger. of course, I know how I can fix it. I can just skip this particle sprite atlas, and then I can just re-enable the mid maps on this one, and then it works. We saw that before, so I know how I can get it back. It's just something seems off to me. Something seems like it's not as it should be. But if it's a Unity bug or if it's something I'm doing wrong, I don't know. And the problem here is that okay, let me try something else. What if I do like this, just for the fun of it? So I take this out and I have this here, and then I have this here, particle. See, now it's gone again. Jesus fucking Christ. So it's like it's breaking for some odd reason. It's not improving the loading time, it's the performance. That's the idea. But apparently now I don't know if I can trust it and if it actually have an impact, if I didn't see the impact because the sprite sheet was not working, or I don't know. And also it should work. I cannot, it should work. I don't see why this is not working. So here you can see it's only taking the lighter, it's not taking the other one. Why? That's not working either. But if we take one of these. So now these two are in. Why can we not get these freaking things in? What if you do like this? That doesn't even help. Single 100 tight lab center physical no. Okay. But I'm not sure this is actually gonna work, but let's try something. So what if I generate now? Okay, so we get this. Okay. Let's undo again. The reason I'm undoing and discarding the change all the time is so I know what I've changed. So now I'm back to the starting point where it's not working and everything is moved back, yada 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 yada. I have this one open over here. So now we are back to the starting point. We generate this, there's nothing. And then we take the flare 2 and put it in here. Pack, generate, blah, blah, blah. You can't because it's... So let's see. So if we change this to this, and then we change this to... Let's try this first. Just to see if that makes any changes. Okay. Single. Okay, so it's the single thing. Okay. So physical. What about this one? Does that have any impact on anything? I guess not. Okay. But let's try and generate it over here. So now we have mip maps here. Perfect. Okay. So, and this is too. Okay. So let's try and go in again. This, and we go single. No physical. Boom. Boom. Yes. Again, I'm not sure this is working, but let's see. So these two, and we go single. No. Boom. So these. Okay, and this one maybe from grayscale. Boom. Yes. I don't know if this has any impact, but let's try and see. Looks more correct somehow. Okay, so now we have this one, and that's perfect, and we have this, and there's room for more. Okay, cool. And we only have one, so that's fine. So we have one texture with all of these on. So all of these 13 particles should now be rendered in a single go. That's not correct because they have different materials, but still it's lowering the amount. It should lower the amount of draw calls. But anyway, do they only get called when they need to be rendered? Yes. So every particle you see in the as I again, I'm no expert, but as far as I understand, each particle in the particle system is rendered. But because the way a GPU works, it can render the same mesh, same materials, same texture in one go. So even if there's 10,000, I not fully correctly, but a little, it should be able to render them in one call. And now because they're sharing the texture, it can optimize that even more. The question is, because we have different materials, if it actually benefits anything, because But anyway, let's see first if it actually looks correct now. If not, I have to just do as it was and then move on with my day. So it still looks weird. Let me try just one more thing. One more thing. But wait a second. Wait a second. Maybe this sprite atlas is not even used when we talk about particle systems. Oh my freaking god. Is that why? Maybe that's why it's not working when oh, damn it. Okay, if it works now, I think I know the reason why it's not working. And then I'm gonna shoot myself in a moment. No, not really, but... Okay. I don't think these sprite atlases are used when we talk particle systems. And the reason this glowing thing is happening is because I turned off the mid-maps. So basically we just need to get back to that. Jesus freaking Christ. So we are not even gaining anything from this. Just me being stupid for straight 1 hour and 7 minutes. Perfect. Okay. But anyway, let's go back and have a look. So we delete this sprite atlas because that's not gonna help anybody. And then we go in here and then we re-enable the mid maps and then we call it a day. We can maybe do this and then that and then that's it. Because I think realistically only maybe 3 or 4 those different particle sprites are being used at a given time. Well, yes, but and that then comes another problem, and that's yeah, that's something I also changed, updated, because before there was I have done. Okay, the particle in, for instance, in one of your cakes, Amnesty, I did do something. First of all, at first I didn't do anything, and then I realized a long time ago that when I load in one of your particle systems, the material that one is using is the one from your mod and not the one from the game. So that means that even though both of them were using, let's say, the FX smoke GPU, whatever. Even though they were both using a material called that, it was 2 instances of the same material. So I had to figure out how to fix that. So basically, what I'm doing now, or what I did before, was that when I'm loading in the mods, I'm going through all the particle system, and then I'm matching on the name. So if you have a material called something, I have a list of in-game materials with the same names, and then I swap it out. So I make your particle system point to my version of the same material, which means it should be the same in the game. You know, it should look the same because the one you have in the mod tools and the one I have in the game are basically the same. But your particle system needs to reference the same material as the rest of the particle system in the game to have some benefits, because else the GPU will see it as 2 different materials, and then we are back to that issue with having many more draw calls. But in this version, I discovered an issue, a bug. There was a bug, so it was not taking all particle systems that were not enabled. So, and in many cases, as you also know, in the cakes and stuff like that, the effect game object can be disabled. In many cases, it can be disabled, and in that case, it didn't replace the material. I don't know if you can feel any benefits from that, but there should be a difference, a slight performance, runtime, FPS benefit. However, there's still more stuff I maybe I can do, I don't know. But we are seeing a lot of particles in this game, so try and do as much as I can to fix it. So now you see it looks fine again. Anyway, okay. But yeah, basically you can see here, this saved by batching, that number I think is when it takes the same material, same material, same texture, and draw it in one. So that's kind of the draw calls that was saved by batching it together. I don't know if the numbers are too small for you guys, but if you look here, you should see hopefully that number. If I look up here, so I only see this guy. So if you look at this number, I guess that will be. You can see it raises up. So like it's a lot. And it's only 120 draw calls to draw all of this because it's batching. It's reusing the same thing again and again and again. So I think actually if we, I guess we can. I almost think that we cannot go unlimited, but we can. Let me try something. I just want to test this. My theory here. So this one. So let's just. I don't know, but let's see. Now I have 2 Unity and all that, so my FPS is down a bit, but already. But if we look at this batching over here again, so if I do like this and look up here, we should see the FPS being okay, it's going down, but it's also batching like 2 million or something like that. So of course there is a limit to what it can do. Anyway. Okay, so that particle thing is fixed. Fixed by setting the min-max back on this one, but there still is a benefit of having the other one, like the characters and the inventory items and the sprite things here. I actually need to put more into this one, but let me just do something here. Remove that. Okay. Revert it back. Something like that. And then I just want to have this, where's these icons? Is that the one? Okay, anyway. Okay, so now that is fixed. Let's see here. So revert back, this is fixed, and then we are back to these ones. Yes. Okay. Okay. Amnesty, are you still here? Just want to ask you one thing. Are you still here, Amnesty? I want to show you or ask you one thing. Okay. Anyway, you're not here. Anyway, so I will push out an update with this right now so you guys can test it. So let's see here. So let's do like this. I don't actually want to save that one. Yeah. Fixed issue with particles being too bright, basically. Thanks Super Pyro 19 and Amnesty for helping out. so we put that in here. And I think I will just need to, I just want to add, no, I want to test some of that stuff. Anyway, yes, okay. So it's a very, very small change, but let's get it out so people can test it. And now you will have to look at me or look at some. Just look at me. That's okay. So now I'm building a version of this, and then I will push it out so you guys can test it. Super Pyro is still here. Amnesty, Keltusar. Anybody still here? But I will push this. It's a minor fix, as you can see. But I will push this out to experimental, and then I have to go because we need to figure out some dinner stuff. But okay, so I was supposed to work on firing system, but I had to fix some particle issue. But before that, I have to upgrade Unity. So I upgraded the security Unity thingy. I fixed the particle thing, and now releasing that update on the experimental, so I can get back to the firing system. But maybe we should do a live stream where we look at Panini's system, maybe Amnesty. Yeah, Super Pyro, I will push. I'm just building a new version now, and then I will push that out to the experimental in a moment. So if you have time to test it out right away, that would be nice. Again, this is the only change in this upgrade, so that's not completely correct because I also upgraded Unity. So maybe I should have included that actually. Posted a suggestion on Discord. Let's see. Suggestions. Which one is you, Ron? James Ron, the firing system idea. Okay. I'm playing this game and have zero experience. We can take a look here, I guess, while it's building. I have zero experience with modding, coding, so I have no idea if possible. Yeah, but I'm not modding. I'm actually making the game, so I can do more than modders can. So I can basically do everything. It's just a matter of time, basically, and skills. But anyway, coding. So I have no idea if it's possible to implement my idea into a firing system. But that's my idea of the UI for a firing system. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. So no connection. Yeah, so you want to have max 10 queues per channel. I think I understand the layout here, but I think it's too, again, I think it's, I don't know, it becomes too complicated. But actually, Amnesty, do you have, or Keltusar, do you guys have a big show that you made with Panini's version? I would just like to see kind of a big show and how to get an overview in that one, because that's my challenge UX wise. How do, when you get past 5 or 10 stuff, how do you still figure out where you are going and where you are and what's going on? But I see your idea here, but I think it's complicated because you have, so you want to have you have channel 1 and then Q1 to 9 here, and then between So that's basically a 20-second delay between Q9 on channel 1 until Q1 on channel 2, and then this starts all over and you can select the different channels up here. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand the idea. But yeah, I have to build it to be able to see if it works or not. And I want to do it as the whole challenge is to do it as flexible as possible, but at the same time as simple as possible. So it's simple to learn and simple to start using, but you can still build advanced stuff. Yeah, okay, Amnesty. The reason I asked you before was just to, I don't know how much delay there is. It seems like there's a lot of delay then. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this bug with that rocket and trying to figure out if it's a bug in UMod, a bug in the game, or a bug in your rocket. But as it's the only rocket doing this thing, I think it might be something in your mod. But anyway, let me just push this version here so you can see, guys. Just a second. You'll have to look at my head here because I cannot show you these things. Boom. And go here. And then I'll let you guys give a thumbs up if it works before I post about the update. Not that it's super important because it's such a small one. Okay, Steam think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be updated apparently. Okay, so if you restart your that's to force it updating. I just pushed this version to private and experimental, so you can try it out. The one who have access to private can try it there, and the other ones can try on experimental. But anyway, it's pushed now. So if you restart your Steam, it should update to 10.3, and you should be able to test this. And meanwhile, let me just open this one up and then show you that thing, Amnesty. We need a good Berlin map with Kaufland Parkplatz. Kaufland Parkplatz. Love the game and Amnesty's mods. Cool. Egomatic. Yeah, I would really like to do a lot more content for the game, but there are so much internal stuff I need to deal with all the time, so I simply don't have time. And it's really annoying because it's really been a long time. Truxty. You must be the top 1 donator. You don't have the money for that, right? You just bought a new house. But thank you, Truxty. You didn't destroy that one. Anyway, so it's in this mod, Amnesty, if you take a look here. So thank you, Truxty. Now I have for a new cup of coffee. That's very nice and important. Thank you. So Amnesty, it's in this winter collection. What is that, 14 or something like that? Anyway, at least this one. There's a rocket in here. Let me show you. And that rocket fails with some UMod error, but yeah. Let me show you. And the problem is the rocket never ends. So it because it fails in the middle of it. It never gets removed from the game because the game don't think it's done. So if you see here, the rocket here is called this one. I don't know what it's called. Raket Karl A. I don't know. This one. So if we spawn one of these, it's all good. No problem so far. Where did the mouse go? Here. So if we, before I fire it off, let's take a look here. So if we take a look here, rocket, explosion, and here. So if you can take a look in after this amnesty, if you can take a look in your mod and see if this Funke, Feike, Frakete, whatever, Kai A, whatever, on your explosion here, do you have anything in this event here? Because you can see when I load it in here, there's nothing here. But it's kind of like you might think there should be or something. Also, let me know if you have do you have a custom script on this one? No, it doesn't look like it. Because try and see here, when I'm firing off this one, we get an error and it never completes due to that. Flies off, boom. See here. So it looks like when you're just looking at it in the game, it looks like it works because it's just, you know, it explode and make a sound. I just disabled the sound, so therefore you didn't hear it. But it looks like it's working. But it's actually thrown two exceptions here, and it looks like to be some apply force, some Unity event, blah 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 blah. So it looks like something over here goes wrong. But there are no events, so I don't know what's happening. So I'm trying to figure out if it's UMod having an issue or if it's this rocket is faulty somehow. And it's not random; it does this every time. And as you can see, it's still over here, and it's never going away because the game can't see that the rocket is done. I think it's still going. So that is pretty annoying, and And the reason I think it might be something with the rocket is because I'm pretty sure a lot of the other ones here are working fine. So let's clear this out maybe. So see, there's no errors here. Let's try another one. Maybe also have some sound. Whoops. So no problem. So it's not a general problem with the rockets. It's something with this specific one. I don't have any. Sending you a screenshot now, Mania. Where? Okay. So Super Pyro, have you tried the new version 10.3? You have to hit send. Amnesty. I haven't gotten anything. Oh, okay, here it is. No function assigned to that event. Let me see. Yes, okay. Okay. Maybe I should, okay, I will send that to Scott from UMod, because I guess he shouldn't fail on that one. He should maybe just skip that one. Okay, so it is something, but it's just I can't see it. But UMod is trying to do something behind the scene apparently and fails. Okay, so it's a problem. But please fix that, because the problem is if people are using that rocket, it never stops. So it will just, you know, over time, they will never disappear and they will just keep running in the background. So it's actually things like that I think one of the reasons that FPS goes down over time. It could at least something like this is one of the reasons. There's most likely many different versions of something like that, but this is one of them for sure. Because the rocket just keeps running in the background and never dies, so is never removed. Yeah, I think it's you just fix it by assigning a function, a method, or removing that line if you don't want to do anything. But it looks like you just want to set the game object's active state to false or something like that and hide it. By the way, the Amnesty Shell Collection 3, cracking, they have titanium explosion when leaving the mortar. Huh? Okay, that's a side note, I guess. Superpower, but does it look more correct now? That's all I need to hear, and then I'm out. Okay, perfect, Super Pyro. Thank you, and thank you for reporting. So now we got that fixed. It's good, and that's also why it's so important that people, at least not maybe the same every time, but that you guys help testing out, because I cannot test everything. And for instance, this one I didn't see it, and the quicker we can spot something like this, the easier it is to fix, because then I know what I just changed. I haven't changed that. I have changed a lot of things, but I haven't changed a lot of things that is related to this. So it was fairly easy. If we look away from that Sprite Atlas crap, fairly easy to fix. Where if it was 2 weeks down the road, it would have been much harder. But anyway, thank you for staying tuned and looking at me for 1.5 hours cursing over Sprite Atlas. But anyway, see you in the next one. So we can hopefully move on with the firing system now in the next one. Yeah, where is it? There it is. See you guys. Bye.